David Brill was sent to cover Tasmania's catastrophic 1967 bushfires as a 22-year-old when the two senior ABC cameramen were on leave. His stunning footage was seen around the world and resulted in significant donations of aid for the victims. The story set him on a path towards covering almost every international conflict for nearly 40 years and becoming one of Australia's best cinematographers, with postings and assignments around the world, including the fall of Saigon and the tearing down of the Berlin Wall.
There's probably no other Australian who's covered so many of the major events of the last half century as David has. From his very earliest days, as a kid almost, covering bushfires in Tasmania. Vietnam next, in the heat of the war, really, in the 70s. There's just an endless list.
From Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, all through the Middle East, all through Africa, even Idi Amin in Africa, South America, Central America, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, the Falklands, I call it the Malvinas, Grenada, Iraq and Afghanistan.
His work and his approach were notable for the empathy shown to victims.
Well, through it all, David's brought to it an extra dimension that goes way beyond the normal war cameraman kind of approach. From his early days in Vietnam, he seized on the people behind the stories and concentrated very much on looking for the faces, the hands, everything that illustrated what was happening to people who were the victims in many ways of wars, of famine, of natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, whatever. And he brought that sort of humanity to all his work.
I don't say it's a calling, but it's a responsibility, I feel, done properly and with dignity of these people to show what is going on in the world. Being a cinematographer, video journalist, it's a huge responsibility to bring it back home and show the people.
Probably driven more than one reporter almost to the brink of nervous exhaustion by wanting to stay there, wanting to get the shot that mattered, in David's view, that told the story, because he sees himself not as a cameraman but as a storyteller. And he absorbs information and then wants to go to the story and get the most out of it so that people can understand it. He sees the best possible result being a combination of pictures, sound, interviews, and a well-written script, which is the essence of good television, really. And we'll stop at nothing, really, until he's got that done.